that kind of ties us into the next point as well, which would be don't be too specific, which is it can be related to don't use too few keywords, but don't be too specific in that. A lot of times I find out from the data that we get back from people searching and clicking on our ads would be people aren't always looking for this hyper specific, the X hot tub by X company.
Right.
People don't search like that most of the time. People might not be looking for that very specific Toyota 2.0 truck, right? They might gravitate toward that later, but at the beginning, it probably starts along the lines of, oh, I want a truck dealerships near me, truck replacement parts near me, whatever the case, whatever the product is. Don't be too specific for that specific reason. People might want your specific product, but they don't know that they want your specific product yet. Do you have something to add to that?
Yeah, that's something that I've seen quite a bit of, is when someone is so close to the product, especially if we're dealing with contractors, a lot of times they're so familiar with the product that when they think about hot tubs, they're thinking about this 4-seater has this kind of motor and this amount of jets and this amount of horsepower, on and on. The list can go on. And sometimes it can be tempting to want to craft a keyword, because we say keyword, but it can be a whole sentence. But the temptation can be 4-seater hot tubs with 2.5 horsepower motors and 62 jets for sale near me. Nobody actually searches like that.
Except for the dealers.
Yeah, right, except for the dealers. And I've actually had a number of accounts where I took over and they had words like that. It was like the X company hot tub XR 1354, whatever model number. And after some investigation, it turned out that, and I really had to dig into reports to see this, but it turned out that these were just people that were repairing hot tubs looking for particular parts for these. So they were paying for all of these clicks, but that doesn't sell you hot tubs. Exactly. These were people that were actually looking for manufacturer parts and repairs. So there was no consumers involved at all. So that's the real biggest problem, I think, of being too specific, is that you cut out an entire audience. And usually the type of specific is the product jargon that no consumer is going to know. And frankly, what I have found is if you have a consumer come in that knows the ins and outs of every single thing, and they know all of the product numbers, they're often very difficult to deal with anyway.
That's also true. but yeah, absolutely. I don't have too much more to add on to that, other than when you're incredibly specific, again, what kind of a normal human are you trying to target there with them being hyper specific? Well, think about the way that, and a lot of times, what we run across are people are experts at what they sell. You have to take a step back from that and kind of zoom out as well and understand, okay, other people don't know this product. And of course, if your product is as good as you believe it is, and your sales reflect that, and everything around that, you don't have to be hyper specific. You can be broad, and then people will gravitate toward it if the product speaks for itself, so to speak. So yeah, I don't have too much more to add on to that point.